telling you what we've done.
Yeah, and we're trying, I mean, listen, we had a particular strategy, we've been trying, and we've actually had our IP officials here meeting, doing walkthroughs with us, so we are just waiting for some follow-up.
Okay.
So it's a process,
Yeah.
you know that.
No, oh, absolutely.
But our big deal is getting funding.
But I will also say that, I'm speaking for myself because Donna probably still wants to stay involved. I'm gonna be stepping down as chair of the recreation.
I'm right behind you. I only came because I was not gonna leave.
When does that happen?
Tomorrow.
Oh, damn.
No. I'm not leaving the board. I just no
So
longer want
what's
to be chair.
happening with Greg?
Greg,
I know it's-
right.
yeah,
So Paula is the interim president until July the 6th when we meet.
Okay, so.
And that would have been the time we would elect new officers anyway.
Uh-huh,
So we will go through that process.
okay.
And then I was trying to work out the schedule with Laura, probably August or September, we will, for those people who want to remain as chairs or no longer, we're gonna go through the process of electing new people for chairs.
Mhm.
So if you're interested in chairing the recreation committee,
No, I can't.
Well,
I-
even being a part, it would be.
You know, I will be a part, but I
Cause I'm gonna
can't
tell
take-
you, I'm not neighborhood council, material.
What did you say?
well, it's a little bureaucratic for Donna, so.
Oh,
And along with that, I helped set it up when they started it with Sylvia Lacey right around the corner,
I
10th
remember
Avenue,
Sylvia.
Washington.
so,
We're recording right now, Jessica.
see, she was,
So-
Nate Holden's, chief of staff. I know Sylvia a long time.
So, yeah, so we were excited and got it started, but this neighborhood's the most important part of what I find that my focus should be.
Yes, as well it should. I mean, you know, the avenues, you are basically the queen of the avenues.
And I don't wanna be, I'd
You
love
are.
for you to
No,
take that
you are.
job.
No, you are. You know, I mean, you should wear that crown proudly.
Well, if the crown's gotta be worn, it's gonna be proud.
That's right. So yeah, that's good. I guess Michelle got waylaid, and I have. There's not much we can see from the exterior.
Yeah, it's hard, except for the deterioration.
Yeah, but
and-
you can see that in the photographs. I think what Michelle and I really wanted to do, if we could get inside and when we can, is just to see what the layout's like and what, if any, alterations. And Michelle said, based on her memory, there was no real alterations that needed to be made. You know, it just needs to be fixed. You know, the chimneys and some of the other things that are.
I think, what do you call it, the under?
The foundation.
Yes, has some damage.
Uh,
There's quite a bit, and we're even open to maintaining the frontage
yes.
and
As well we should. I mean, the integrity of the design we want to hold in place. We just want to prop her up a little bit and get it to the point where the woodwork is redone, it's painted, there's no holes in the walls, there's no critters running around, and we can utilize it for whatever purposes we need to. It can be an alternate cake in some, you know.
well, this side doesn't have a gas, so we can't have a stove. We can't do cooking lessons.
This side doesn't have gas.
No.
What about electrical? We can put an electric stove in.
Well, I don't know about that part of it. That's possible, but it'd be great to have a full working like kitchen so we can get some of the maybe the restaurants along Adams.
Let me grab her.
Oh, let me just also tell you that, I can't, I'm just seeing councils and, no longer paying gas stoves.
Yeah, I'm fine with electric. I don't need a stove. Oh, okay. And I'd like it to be over there so we can have a real restaurant like set up and teach cooking lessons and chefs come and do demonstrations or even anything, all of those things. We could do that in a bigger space. This is more focused because of his historic design. We're staying with that. So, yeah, I just love that. We could get some of those things in place.
So when you're ready. So wait till 7 o'clock.
Lovely afternoon, right?
Oh, yeah, right there. Straight to me.
They were right where I think
Abby put them aside for you.
she helped. She was one of the young ladies who helped. We had like 4. So it was good. As Michelle didn't make it. See, she would call.
Well, he said, 5 minutes to 7, so,
Yeah, it's about that,
yeah, so maybe Hey, everybody, we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes before we get started.
Sent it to about 8 people. But Dolores being one. She did say she was going to
She didn't say what she was. When she said she was complaining, she was playing with it. Great, and as soon as they left, she said, crying. My time, my children just left. Like she said it with the crying.
I know you were nice kids too. I prefer nuggets.
Yeah.
Nice to have some company, huh? Can you go in there and make me a bottle of water? He couldn't do. Kids, they're big enough to do that, not too tiny. But I think some people, grandparents, sometimes say they need to complain a little. Yeah, everybody expects it. So is Greg gone already? We have the
No,
next week.
like June 30th, no, he'll be gone. June 30th is last day.
Tomorrow.
Paula sent out an email to everybody. I sent from president. It was a very nice email. I'm not talking to everybody, but let me know what she's.
Stepping up.
Yeah. I think that she went to that change. I just.
It's fine. Anybody who wants to do, everyone needs to back them up anyway.
Yeah.
That's not a single-tary job. Need everybody's participation. It's a crew. You gotta have a crew. One person takes on the place of president, everyone else stands behind him with a gun.
Right. And I don't mind everybody having up. I just kind of like this is just. Yes. But hey, that's how Greg decided to run it because he's very busy.
So the four official.
Yeah. I didn't. Scissors and take it.
They asked me to do it, you do it. They're closing the other two. Not just that, they're rebuilding government is in the finished there. He's gonna be working on the whole rebuilding now. Setting up the schooling part. That's what he's gonna, be the principal of the school.
So he's taking on a new career.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
he
he
used to
was-
be a principal before.
Oh, yeah, but this is going to be a whole nother aspect.
Airplane, yeah, airplane. That's what I have. Yes, yeah, there's no deal. Not quite the same,
Welcome.
Hello, hi. How you doing?
fine, and you?
Good.
So you can sit on this side, I'll balance the picture on this side.
All right. So you know, we've already, we're streaming live. We haven't started yet, but we're streaming live to YouTube. Try to warn everybody, just started taking this in case they say something.
On Zoom, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're on. We're just gonna wait a couple more minutes
Okay. Is this your first time here?
Oh, no.
for a meeting.
Oh, for a park and rec meeting, yeah.
But I'm in UNNC, you've been since they started doing the hybrid.
Well, I was at the other ones on.
But have you done the hybrid here? It's,
I'm confused.
well, over there, it's a bigger room.
Yeah, no,
Being able to
I don't
hear.
like Zoom meetings particularly. I like to be in person.
No, but what I'm just saying was, here it's kind of cozy
Oh.
and you can hear everything, the people on Zoom.
Yeah, no, I haven't done this Zoom
Yeah,
environment.
yeah. So this is great. I like it.
So HPOZ sets up the same way?
They haven't, but they will be.
Okay.
They're doing one more time at Jefferson Park.
Oh, okay, clear.
Yes, I haven't talked to the lady, but it is all cleared up.
Because we used to sit up in that room and have this as an audience room. That doesn't look like it's happening.
No, because we have the technology right there, so this
Right.
way, people can participate with technology and also set it up here, so.
I got a feeling this is not going to be enough space once things get going again.
For what, HPOZ?
Well, HPOZ and
We've been
planning and
hosting-
zoning. and-
We've been hosting all those meetings here for a couple of months.
It's just post-pandemic yet. It hasn't,
A lot
Yeah.
of
I
people
think
are
the
still
convenience,
zooming.
yeah.
I think the convenience of Zoom though, allows
Really?
people to.
Yeah, there's some
participate.
people who just don't want to leave home.
I'm one.
And that's what we've been finding, that a lot of people
Well,
are still.
you're very difficult to please. You don't want to leave home and you don't want to do Zoom meetings.
And I was,
We'd like to know how you're gonna do that.
well,
We have to have
Don't we?
meetings at his house.
No, you.
oh no, I'll show up. You know, but on the other side of that, it's good exercise. Like, you know, I walk from the house. It's good. It feels good. You know?
Well, here, that little 25th Street strip is very well used. People enjoy it.
Oh, yes.
This park is in an excellent position for families,
Sure.
for nannies. I work on the corner by my house at the other house, and I see a
And
lot
I
of.
don't understand what that means. You work at the corner of the other house.
We have two houses.
Oh, okay. So you rent one?
No, she was
My
supposed to.
son's in.
Oh, okay, so it's family.
Okay, how about, it's almost 7:05, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to the UNNC Recreation and Parks Committee meeting. I will share the agenda. Let's see. Okay, can everybody see the agenda? Monica?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So.
Welcome, everyone, for our hybrid at the Southeast House Recreation and Parks Committee meeting. And this is last week of June, and we're going into the 4th of July. If you feel like I do, you're wondering what happened. But anyway, so
Are there
do we have any public comments this evening? Just raise your hand, or small group.
I don't know.
And
No.
no public comments? Okay, well,
Okay, then we're gonna get started with Monica, to give us an update on some of the things happening in the park.
All right. So based on our last meeting, we talked about job orders. I do have an update on the tiles. They're expected to come in possibly mid-August, when we're not in session for camp. We have a little bit of downtime because we're going to probably need about a week of work to complete the project of the tiles, which means we won't be programming. It hasn't been finalized, but that's the tentative time, like mid-August.
Okay, and can you tell us who's installing those tiles?
I believe they were still trying to figure out a company, but that has not been set. It was more of like, when can we do this?
Okay,
So no
Because-
company yet.
okay, so you're thinking mid-October and.
No, sorry, August,
August.
August,
Okay,
because we'll
Is
be
that-
done with summer camp.
okay. And they're gonna be linoleum tiles?
That I don't know yet. It was more so of them trying to figure out the time frame.
Okay,
But
great.
anything you share with me, I will relay the information to the person who reached out to me.
I just want to jump up and say, we better ask.
Right.
Our experiences recently, if we don't ask and find out the questions that Teresa mentioned, it might be a disaster in the making. So if there's
Right.
something we can, you recommend that we reach out and find a little bit more information, or if you could transfer that, let them know it's a historic house, and we are concerned. So could you please let them know or let us know who we reach out to? We have no problem doing that.
Right. So my question to you, Donna, and also Teresa. Go for it.
Michelle has a comment.
Yes, yes, yes.
Lori Krogan is the person who did the original installation. She does custom tiles. She got the linoleum, cut it into the right sizes, and then she makes 3x3 sheets of what's needed. So that might be the fastest and simplest way, is to get in touch with her and ask her to come back and repair the floor she put in.
Does
And I
she
don't-
have a, go ahead, I'm sorry.
You might wanna have them reach out to, you, whoever's gonna do it, and maybe, or Michelle can leave her information for you, so come into work, you'll be able to see who the original.
And I think Laura Myers had mentioned Linoleum City as the only purveyor of linoleum tiles. So what you're telling us now, Monica, is that the time frame to do it would be in August? And
Yes.
the
And
vendor
the-
has been selected?
no, it hasn't been selected yet. They were just more trying to, obviously, they came in one early morning, and I spoke with the lady who I guess is in charge of the contracts or does the measurements with her team. And she asked me when's the best time, and I said after summer camp. So we're thinking about mid-August.
Okay, thank you. What else do
So
you have?
Linoleum City is the company, is the business.
Well, that's what Laura Myers recommended, but
Okay.
Michelle,
We use Linoleum City, but I mean, when you talk about tile, standard tile is like 12 by 12.
Mhm.
So are you talking about replacing it entirely, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And
going
then,
into-
that whole
going into
area,
the
including
kitchen?
the kitchen. Yes, including the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
So
so
maybe it should be sheets then. I mean, you can still have that same pattern, but be a linoleum sheet. No?
no,
Oh, okay.
because see, when this was originally done, that's what they did. You could buy one sheet that have this pattern.
Mhm.
Now it's a sheet would just be one colorway. It wouldn't have any kind of design. It might have a ripple pattern, it would be speckled. But so in effect, that was the best historic restoration we could do at the time. If you're just going to replace it with 1x1 tiles, then that's,
Problematic,
well, it's taking away part of the
and
historical
that's not what
identity
we
of the
want,
house.
so
Yeah.
maybe.
Question.
Go ahead.
Would it be possible if they decided to extend it and just do wood?
I think there's a Douglas floor fir under there. I think that would have been the subfloor, the standard subfloor. But as we all know, Doug fir is kind of soft. I mean,
Right.
you could pretty hard, maybe like a marine varnish on it.
Just curious.
Well, maybe Monica, could you possibly find out who Michelle
Yes, I'll follow up. I'll follow up
collaborate
with,
with?
yes.
Yeah, because the collaboration might be the best bet. And then we know everything, and you don't even have to worry about them coming in and putting in, Formica,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
which scares me to death. Okay,
Right.
thank you, if you could do that. And if you
All right,
need
so
our
I'll
help,
follow
you
up
know,
tomorrow
we're
with them
behind.
and see if they have a, like, what's the status in terms of the contracts, whoever they decided to contract with, and then
Okay.
talk up about the linoleum.
right, well, it can only be linoleum. So
Right.
what we're talking about now is if it's gonna be the squares, which we'd like to retain, or if it's gonna be sheets, since you're replacing the whole thing. But whatever contractor this is, if it's not Linoleum City, they need to talk to Michelle about that.
Is there
Okay.
some sort of criteria? I mean, I mentioned Lori, and you started to say, does she have a what? Some,
Do they have to be of the city? I mean, what is the?
Oh, no. I don't know who's the listings that the city works through in terms of the flooring. That's why I just wrote that specific location down so I can at least make that recommendation, but I don't know if they're a contracted business under the city.
Well, I'm sure Linoleum City has installers, plenty of installers, but I don't know that they do, the custom designs.
Okay.
Do you know?
Do you?
And they don't.
Okay, Laura says they don't.
Hi, Laura's here. They show off the custom designs. I mean, they have some flooring on their floor
Yeah.
that are custom designs, but they don't install. They're the resource, Monica, specifically in this city for Forbo linoleum, and that's what needs to be used.
Mhm.
And then there are installers, and the installer needs to know how to install linoleum. It may not be very different than installing vinyl, but what they do on the subfloor, I mean, the person will have to know, they can't just lay it over this floor,
Got it.
for example, because it'd be too soft. It'd be better to remove the floor and then lay it over the subfloor that's there, because otherwise they'd have to install a 1/4-inch plywood, and we're starting to get uneven levels, which is not going to be ADA compliant.
Right. So, yeah, I was, before you came in, Lori Krogan.
Oh, yes, Lori Krogan would know. Lori Krogan, very good person.
Well, she's the one who did these.
Right.
She did the initial.
Right. Is she still around and
As
working?
far as I know.
Yeah, Lori Krogan's the expert, but she would, in order to be hired by the city, she would have to get a LA City business license. If she makes less than $100,000 a year in the city of LA, it's free.
Yeah.
And she would have to have a contractor license. I mean, both things.
Well, I repeat, I think somebody at this table needs to collaborate.
Right.
And Monica, you're gonna make that happen, aren't you?
Yeah,
Or
so,
if you can't, let me know and I'll be happy to throw a hissy fit on the front steps.
Well,
no, sounds good.
yeah, I'm happy to contact Lori,
Yeah.
and if I have your email, Monica, I will,
Yes, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
anything
And-
else?
Yes, let's see, landscapes, that was another question of concern. Maintenance have been coming by and they're just trying to finalize what type of decor they wanted to do with the front. So we're looking at possibly 2 to 3 weeks and they'll probably begin, hopefully sooner.
Okay. And
Decor?
yeah, are they changing the river?
No, they were trying to add some flowers and I said they can, but I just didn't want it too much in the way of the walkway because of the kids playing.
On the wall.
Yeah.
So flowers I'm cool with, but just probably not right when folks walk in because of the kids playing in that area.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to finalize a few things, but I'm hoping within 3 to 4 weeks, they'll get the ball rolling for both the front and the back of the house.
It's really weedy, so I guess you've noticed that. I
Yes.
did message to Mr. Monke. And when we had the grad night celebration, the backyard, kids were doing their gymnastics
Yes,
or cheer. And we noticed that the yard needed to be neatened up or trimmed.
Right.
And so I complained to him about that. We had the council person here and we're all out having dinner in the backyard and the yard was shaggy. And
right.
it was kind of sad, but maybe, I discussed it with him. We took pictures and sent them, and so hopefully they're working a little bit better. And like you said, you guys have a discussion. Cause you got the opportunity for the cheer and the other classes to go out there, and we'd love, and I know you'd love for the yard to look good.
Correct. Yeah.
Monica, I'm not sure if you were with us when Kimberly came by and Jose Mahi was here also. We did the walkthrough, right? We did the walkthrough and he mentioned that they were going to replace he called them barbecues, but the hibachis in the annex. Did he talk to you about those?
No, actually, I believe he just told Donna and Donna casually mentioned it to me, but I can reach out to him and find out because I knew nothing about the barbecues until Donna mentioned it.
Yeah, no, I was in that, that conversation that, there were several of us when he mentioned that he was planning on replacing those.
It's the day we
All right.
went in.
So
We
follow
have
up
a
with the
sto-
barbecues.
Yep, that's great.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, one moment. I'm just making a note of that. Okay, I know you guys were asking about full-time staffing. I do not have any specifics, but I know that they are going through training, I believe, starting towards the end of next week. So I still don't have an update if I'm going to get anybody, but I know they're in the process of training.
We were given that you're getting a recreation coordinator.
Do you have a date? Like maybe you know something.
You know, if we don't get one soon, you'll have a date. So don't worry.
Okay. I just know that they're doing training at the end of next week. So fingers crossed.
And can you tell us about the number of campers you have this summer? How is staffing this summer?
Number of campers, we have 35. Staffing, we have 6.
Is that
And-
enough for your needs?
No, because of everyone's availability is a little different. So, in a perfect
sure?
scenario, sorry, go ahead.
You're sure?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it has nothing to do with, obviously more staff is better, but it's everyone's availability that is not, working in our favor. But good thing is we're running smoothly, no hiccups. We're having, another thing I can mention, but let me just go through. We do have some LA Kids classes happening in the process. So like we had martial arts today, soccer skills, Play LA classes are going to be starting in less than 2 weeks. And then also wanted to follow up with Rediscover with, I think his name is Jonathan.
Yes.
I'm waiting for paperwork to finalize because they have to do paperwork of right of entry. Once that is complete, I will be scheduling him in for both camps. So I'm going to see if he could do something for our tanker camp as well as for our regular camp.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
great.
But yeah, the process is a little different since he's going to bring his team. I don't know if it's going to be one person, a couple of people from Rediscover. If it's a one time, they still have to go through a process of paperwork. So it's me just putting the request in and then getting the paperwork back.
You mentioned your martial arts classes.
Yes, and that's done through LA Kids.
When do they happen?
When is martial arts happening? That is, give me a second, because it started today. Mondays from 9:30 to 11:30.
My daughter may have some interest.
Are those the $10 ones?
No, this is the free classes that's done through our camp. I'm hoping, talking to Teresa earlier today regarding Play LA, possibly adding karate. I was looking through our database of instructors. So I would probably want to bring something like that on. We did self-defense in the spring through LA Kids, but not Play LA. So hopefully I don't mind having both. The type of martial arts can be different, but that would be the goal.
No special dress required.
No, comfortable clothes. I'm trying to think. I think they were barefoot this morning.
Okay, I'll let her know.
They use the
Sounds good.
backyard?
Yes,
Great.
they had mats. We were using mats.
So is it 2 weeks and on 2 weeks off, or how does it work?
The LA Kids program, it's usually 6 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Play LA classes, girls Play LA classes, 8 weeks.
Okay. And have we gotten a flyer about that, or is it on our social media locally?
It's on all platforms.
Okay.
Yep.
Because all the neighborhoods have Facebook pages, so if it can be placed there,
Okay.
great.
I apologize. I didn't send it to Jackie as I usually do with some of my flyers. So I'll send it to Jackie tomorrow. I'll make another note.
If Lizzie received it, she's on all those Facebook pages,
Mhm.
so she can share it.
Yeah, as soon as we get it. So it'd be great if you get it to Jackie or or myself, and we'll get it
Okay.
out to everyone. Because it's great to have that local and opportunity for the kids to have enough
Yes,
and free
Mhm.
correct.
fun. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, so you're staying with us though, Monica, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm just
Okay.
taking notes.
Okay, great. So let's, if we can, move on to our next agenda. Howdy, is that you at 323?
I think that's Anna.
Oh, is that Anna?
Anna?
Hi, Mahia is on Anna Maria. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, Anna, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
You're
Good.
great. So happy to
Good.
have you here. Tell us about the cadets and the fireworks.
So today, Officer Art Gonzalez, he is our cadet training officer. So he's responsible for all the explorers in Southwest with the programs here, with the youth programs. So earlier, a couple days ago, for the fireworks flyers, he had requested for each flow to put out areas for the cadets to go out and pass out the flyers. So of course I wanted them to go into West Adams Avenues, and Teresa actually saw them, which was exciting. So they were passing out flyers in the neighborhood, just basically letting everybody know with 4th of July coming up in the next week that they are illegal in LA. So they went out through a whole Southwest division today with the different areas and passed them out. So it was good. It was good for the community, and it was good to get the cadets involved.
That's great. Teresa sent one to me. I don't think they did 7th Avenue, but I'm gonna make sure it gets on all our platforms and is shared. So,
Oh, I'll ask. Okay, thanks, Donna, because I thought Art was going to go through, but maybe they had to go through the whole division, so maybe they were almost going to other locations. But either way, like we put out, especially because I do know that that apartment complex that Teresa and James had let us know that's across the street, where sometimes they'll Airbnb it, that sometimes that one's an issue, and that was like a targeted location. And then we did put it out in other areas. And
they've
other
been
than that,
somewhat active. Adams is always active. It's our big
Yeah.
issue.
yeah, on Adams around the corner, yes, that's another big issue and concern. So, and I know that Sergeant Norwood, she's going to put out some more just online and email everybody that's a part of CPAB and all that, and then just stress the fact that, hey, don't do this, and this is what's happening in the local areas, who will put on an actual legal fireworks show.
Yeah, that's great.
So any
Other than
other
that,
more things going at the park? The Katrina is.
so she hasn't, she's been, the Department of Mental Health went out, and her social worker that's from Department of Mental Health, Katrina, is ready to go back. She was out, in, out. So they're working with getting her into a facility where it's going to help her to do a permanent stay. So they've been out there. She is still getting her medication, which is good. And it keeps her coherent. So that's something that I've been working on, and Department of Mental Health has been working on. So they're trying to look for another facility, because she was going to go back, but she forgot where it was at. So as soon as that happens, and I know Eric, our field deputy, some of the stuff that's out there, he's going to remove what he can. And then when she leaves, he'll take the rest of it. Tammy. And then there was that other location that's on the Caltrans side, and I've notified Highway Patrol, so they should be cleaning that up, and the one off the freeway at Arlington and the 10 around just the outskirts area.
Yeah.
But other than that, Benny Potter has been good. I did touch base with Luis and if I could just see more of Delgadillo, the park ranger. So they're going to work on that for me, and I'll keep you guys updated with that.
Park is very active as we were coming to the meeting. It's great.
Yeah.
People are using it, and we love patrols, and there were for a while. I just haven't seen them recently. But if they could patrol because people are out, it's a summer evening.
Yeah.
And just if we could have someone go through, as they have been a few weeks ago, up and down.
Yeah.
As they come along Adams, just make that their strip.
Yeah.
'Cause
Tyler and I have been going out today about maybe, I want to say about between 2:30 and 3. We were out and about, and then we took off because we ended up having one of our units had a pursuit of a stolen vehicle that came out of Lamert Park, and then they ended up crashing at 42nd Place and Venice. So we were down there on that perimeter for a few hours, and then all the suspects ended up taking off, but then they hid in the location in that immediate perimeter that we were on, and K9 came out, and then they ended up getting all 3 in custody. That was the big thing that happened today, so we were just all over the place. But yes, I definitely will make sure the guys that work day watch and my guy on morning watch, Castrita, Robert, he's real good about patrolling the area. And then gangs, I did ask for them just because with summer coming and the heat, just to still monitor and patrol the outside areas, especially with Benny Potter. Summer Night Lights is beginning, and it's going to be at 3 parks in Southwest. It's going to be Rancho, Jim Gilliam, and King Park on 39th and Western. Those are the 3 parks where they'll be active until probably mid-August. And then I'll let you guys know the dates when that starts up. And then obviously with those 3 parks, usually they always have officers at the parks, especially on the days where they have movies and any type of activities for the kids in the neighborhood. So those are the 3 parks in Southwest. And then National Night is August. Yeah.
31st of July. There'll be movies in the park here at Benny Potter. So I'm sure Eric will be reaching out to you to let both of you know.
July 31st?
Mm-hmm.
Monday, July 31st? Okay.
I think it's a Friday, if I'm
It'll be a
correct.
Friday.
Yeah, I think
Friday.
it's
Let me know.
that is a Monday. Let me look at my email. '21st,
Oh, much sooner.
July 21st, 10 days. So that's going to be a Friday, July 21st. So just wanted to give you a what's up.
Do we have a movie?
Yes.
Okay, 21st. And what time is that from?
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna have a flyer soon, and as soon as I can get it, I'll share it. But the movie is Puss in Boots.
Okay,
so
perfect.
usually in the past, it had always been a couple of hours, festivities started a couple of hours before dark, but the movie can't start till it's dark.
Right.
But who knows exactly how the council district will do it this time, but there were booths and they handed out hot dogs and an awful lot of candy and no tangerines. I'm just saying, it was not healthy.
Do you want some tangerines?
No.
I'll bring you some.
I can buy my own tangerines. Not my
But
point.
the kids are not gonna
They
want
wanted
any
to know,
candy.
the kids wanted the candy. But one year UNNC brought out healthier stuff and they didn't want it.
Right.
But the parents did. Anyway, it's a couple of hours before then, a couple of hours of the movie.
Yeah, so
It's a big deal.
we'll know a bit more later, and we donated watermelon one year and popsicles, so it turned out nice.
Yeah, well, first I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know who coordinated, they didn't reach out to anybody to
Right.
coordinate and do anything, so,
They do their own thing, but the flyer will be ready soon.
yeah,
Right.
but they should still try to work, I mean, I'll deal with Eric later on that, but they should have coordinated with everybody else to try to do stuff. Now we can't do anything, it's too
Yeah,
late for us to do
UNNC
anything.
will not be able,
Yeah.
won't have the time to,
Yeah.
well, we have the time to have a booth, but we don't have the time to donate to
Yeah.
the cause.
So it's the first year since COVID, so.
Okay, well,
Perfect. I have that in the calendar. Thank you so much for that. And we've been looking real good with everything else. So that's it. That's all I have to report.
okay, well, thank you very much, Officer Mejia.
Thank you to everybody. Thanks, Teresa. Thanks, Donna. Thanks, everybody. And Monica,
Oh.
thank you. And anything you guys need, let me
Thank you.
know. I'll be here tomorrow, and we'll be out and about in the area.
And we'd love to talk about cadets at Labor Day weekend for possibly having some cadets during our music festival.
Perfect. I will let
possible.
Art know. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll get with Art and I'll let Sergeant Norwood know that it's going to be happening that weekend, and then you could just give me the times, Donna, and then we'll go ahead and
Yeah, we'll talk.
request for that. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
All right. Have a great night.
And thank you, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So we'll move on to the next agenda. I invited, it was last minute, but he did confirm that he was gonna come, so I don't know where he is, but it's the coordinator for the Prop K funds. And let me just bring this up. Oh, you know what, Monica, since he's not here, why don't we do Play LA since you're here and ready to go?
Well, I also have a question
Oh,
about.
sure.
Monica, on the summer night lights, Officer Mejia just told us about the parks in Southwest. But do you have a complete list of parks? Because in the recent past, it included Normandy Recreation Center, Queen Anne, and also Toberman.
I can get that for you if you like.
Yeah, because, obviously the kids here, they're not coming here for summer night lights, but they might
No.
go to those other nearby parks.
Yeah, well, at one point I recall it being at Danker and MLK, but
Right.
I remember saying that out loud one time and someone
Right.
said, don't bring the kids, vice versa, the safety precautions. So I don't mind doing my research and sending you a list if you like.
Right, because I think, a UNNC would probably, that'd be me, or Greg, or whoever, somebody, but we would do an e-blast. Well, I mean, in other words, we would do an e-blast, standalone e-blast for our stakeholders who might go to any of these nearby parks.
Okay.
Right? So,
Okay,
That sounds great.
so let me, so Play LA, let me just, let's just. Okay, so when the city selected the Olympics, the Olympic Committee set aside $150 million to fund at low cost in underserved neighborhoods a variety of programs. So they just increased some of the funding, and this round will include, let's see, archery, karate, climbing, triathlon, and fencing. And it does have some other sports, aquatic sports, but we don't have a swim pool, so I'm not gonna mention them. But I talked to Monica to try to get an archery or a fencing program. I don't know, it's something we could discuss as a group. But I thought it would be interesting for the people in our community to see archery for young children participate. These classes are they're $10, right, for the 6-week period, Monica?
Yes. And I believe actually those classes are 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Yes.
So did you have a chance to look up fencing?
Yes. You described it so well. I was like, this sounds familiar. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, so it sounds pretty cool too. So I don't mind. I'm gonna probably just do an email blast with the contacts that I have. For all three actually. Climbing, I know it's brand new, so I kind of want to see what it's like before I even try to introduce it to Southeast, but archery, karate, fencing. I don't mind just reaching out and seeing who is available for the fall and see about rolling that out.
Okay, I think that would be great. I mean, we have a lot of great space for archery over at the annex.
Right,
And
right.
to see those beautiful bullseyes set up and children practicing
Yes.
that, I think would be great. So, okay, that was what I wanted to say about that. And so RIP is going to put together a list of all the instructors for those, and then you will just work out a program for
Yeah,
that.
I'll be reaching out and seeing who's available, because some instructors are set in different regions or areas like Valley, Metro, which we are. So like, for example, if someone says, oh, I'm only available in the Pacific region, I know I can reach out to them because we're kind of nicely in between the Pacific region and the Metro. So yeah, I have a greater opportunity based on our specific location being in West Adams, Mid-City area.
Okay, that's great. So next month you'll be able to let us, give us the status of that.
Yeah, to see who's going to bite. But yeah, I'll probably do an email blast first, because I know when I was reviewing the list earlier, some of them said all sports, most sports. So I'll include them too to see in terms of their skill set.
Okay, great. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And those would be available for after school and Saturdays during the year.
Correct. Right.
Cool.
I'm leaning towards because summer starts in 2 weeks, the summer classes. So the goal would be for fall.
Okay. Because we definitely want to be attractive.
Yes, yes.
Sure. Laura.
Yeah, well, I also saw adaptive archery.
Yes.
Monica, do we have, I mean, we obviously have well, what do we call it anymore? The, everyone can do it recreation.
All inclusive program.
Right, well, I'm talking about the sand pit and all of the equipment. So do we have a good population here where adaptive archery might make sense? I'm not even sure what adaptive, I mean, I assume
Adaptive.
there.
I know we have adaptive sports. Okay. And as far as bringing a specific program at South Seas House, from my understanding, because I've looked into it, and then obviously done some training. As of right now, adaptive sports is more of on a clinic basis, where it's not like where they're meeting once a week. So they'll do a clinic, a special event with different sports on a Saturday. So for example, if someone would like to participate, just like camp or any other program that we have, we accommodate. We don't turn anyone away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's I always believed that. And so when they had to explain that to the team, I was like, oh, okay. So now, we're all on the same page, but I've already known that. But as far as specific programs for adaptive, as of right now, I haven't seen or heard anything where they're offering it once a week, but they'll do like a special event, or they'll go to the bigger parks and take over their field, their gym, and do different sports.
Well, what I noticed as Teresa was scrolling, the next paragraph down said
Right.
adaptive archery. But
Yes. They're doing it at go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I would say that what I was trying to say, but I'm speaking slowly, is the universally accessible playground that we have here. Have you noticed if it attracts those who would need adaptive sports?
Oh.
Because obviously we're not going to do wheelchair tennis here, but I don't even know what adaptive archery is.
I have video footage from, I can't remember which park, but they've done it at a location. Adaptive Sports has their own Instagram. I'm pretty sure they have Facebook, so I'm following them. So I actually see what they do.
Okay.
But
Well,
to
maybe-
be honest with
maybe
you,
it's a
for me
longer
to,
term-
I'm sorry, say it again.
Well, it's just that what I know to be true here is we have a school over on 24th and Gramercy that is kids who are in need of adaptive everything. So maybe there's an opportunity, not in the next 4 weeks, to kind of match the two programs to a school population that's right here in the neighborhood. They may not live right here, but they.
Right.
Here.
They're still driving, maybe walking distance.
Correct. Well, they're often going for walks in the neighborhood with their teachers. So, I mean, I'm just thinking if there's money for this, maybe there's a way to add a program, not immediately, because it's going to take some research.
Right. So for that, I would obviously do some research and then contact the adaptive sports team, because it's a group of its own, just like Class Parks, just like SNL.
Got it.
It's not something that's I'll obviously assist and provide the space and staffing if needed, but that's a team of its own. So I can definitely reach out to 24th Elementary School.
Yeah, it's Whitney, right?
It's Whitney High School too.
But they
Whitney
have,
High School.
well, but they have
Mhm.
middle and
And they're right next to each other, so.
yeah.
So.
Okay,
Whitney High
It'd
School.
be interesting, yeah, Whitney High School is
Well-
right
Thank
after.
you.
but it's not just a high school. I think it's middle.
Oh, no,
They-
it probably is,
Yeah, I think
from,
it's probably 5th through 12th.
because it probably goes from that
Yeah.
as high school,
So-
because they don't do a separate middle school. Might be an opportunity for us to have a special day.
Like an event.
Yeah, where we
You
can
never know.
have from all over the city, so it'd be fun.
Right.
Since we're an adaptive facility at the park.
Right.
And you know what's kind of funny? Ironically, the adaptive sports team, they were in the West region at one of the parks I used to, my childhood park. And now they're literally going to be physically relocating at MLK. So technically we're going to be neighbors. And I know the person who's like the head of the group. And I said, and I just casually said to him at one of our events, I said, hey, anything that you guys have happening, just like you see that Lotus Festival poster, I'm like, anything that you guys are doing, send it my way so I can post it and share it. So you never know. We may be
That's
hosting something here. You never know.
Yeah, that's true, that's fun. Because there's funding for it, why not take
Right.
advantage and
Correct.
get on the map? That way we're on the map.
Okay, thanks, Monica.
Thank
So,
you.
We invited, so there was a proposition that started 20-some years ago because some of those funds came into this facility. And they are now in their 11th cycle. There were 5 categories, but this cycle only has 2 categories. But I guess they didn't get any RFPs, so they extended it through January. But the 2 categories are recreation as related to schools only. I'm not quite sure what that is. And then the acquisition of parks and natural lands. So I was hoping this guy could come, but he's not here. He said that he would only be explaining the program. He would not be advising us because it's, they are going to have another, we as a UNNC, South Seas House, we can't apply for any of the funds. But I thought it might be interesting for us to talk about it, to find out, and maybe creatively come up with a project, creatively come up with something that we could say to RAP, hey, can you do an RFP for the funds, maybe for Isadore or
So
something?
isn't the idea of Isadore at some point was the idea to have after-school programming that relates to schools? I mean, it might be a stretch, but it might not be a stretch.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but why not? Because that
Yeah, it says the
category,
word
Do we have his
schools.
email address?
Yes, I don't have on this phone,
A
but
little embarrassing to tell him that
No.
we missed it, you know.
yeah, no, well, I will, tomorrow I will email him because, yeah,
don't worry.
yeah, because he's,
Yeah, missed you last night.
yeah, I
blah,
was like,
blah,
what
blah.
happened? I
Yeah.
said, you know, I think what happened was I invited a guy, because I went to this, earlier in the year, one of the webinars they had, And there was a guy named Jacob John. So when I saw that they had extended it, I emailed him. I said, oh, maybe you could, I know it's late notice, can you come to our Monday meeting? He said, no, I can't, but Ohaji can. Maybe Ohaji can. So Ohaji responded saying, oh, yes, I'd be available to come Monday. And I said, okay, thank you. Here's the agenda. So I don't know where he is.
That's okay. Would you include us on the email stream when it goes out?
Oh, yes, I will. I'll go through that on there. Oh, and Laura, I meant that you could just zoom in. You didn't have to come in.
No, but I responded to you, I couldn't zoom in tonight,
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
so that's fine.
It's nice to get together here.
So I was just thinking that there might be, I'm not quite sure how to go about doing that besides us creating a letter and sending it to Recreation and Parks saying, can you apply for this funding?
Right.
Maybe if we read through the guidelines for the funding, we can find our own venue.
Because it needs to be a grant proposal.
Right.
I mean, RAP would need to do a grant proposal.
Sorry.
Or the council
Recreation and
district,
Parks,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
so, yeah.
or the council office itself, because we got the Prop K funds the last time,
Mhm.
not from RAP, but from the council office.
Oh, okay.
So, I
Definitely.
mean, Stacy Anthony had done all of the grant, right?
The CD10 have a grant person?
Well,
I'm
they
sure
did
they
at
do.
the time.
Yeah.
But no, she's long since not been.
I know, but.
But you found a pot of money, let's find out who we
Right.
can get to.
Yeah, to,
But you still have to write, the
Yeah.
whole.
I mean, and they have a class, I mean, the webinar is a technical assistance, because it is a long, process, this RFP of this, but that, I'm like, here's our idea, this is what we'd like to do, somebody else kind of do that, so that's all I was gonna.
Because I don't remember what part of the big package of combined funds Prop K was. I think it may have been the computer program, right? But I'm not sure. I mean, you may remember. I mean, there was like a whole bunch of different funds brought together to do this, but part of it was contingent on the computer program.
The idea of having after-school recreation, you can
Well,
always.
I thought that's what they're trying to make that housing.
Right,
Mhm.
and then also has acquisition of parks and natural lands. We don't have any natural lands, but are there any lots? I mean, I know that on Washington, next to Truffle Brothers.
I think,
Johnny Cochran School, what school is that? On Washington?
Oh, the Eldor? No, it's
Oh,
not.
No, it's not a
no,
park,
no.
it's an empty lot. It's on Washington,
It's-
almost where 10 dead ends to Washington.
yeah, but it's under construction. The
But it's
big,
empty, that's a vacant lot.
Well,
I'm trying to visualize.
Well, there's
know, when
that perpetual part on, what is it, Gramercy and 25th or something.
Yeah, but that,
What's behind the fencing?
The-
Is
those-
that-
Yes, behind the fencing, and I think behind that is the Johnny Cochran
Mhm.
Elementary School. So there's a big empty lot there. I know everybody wants housing, but
well, I think at this point in time, the mandate to all the council districts was to identify, there was a list of thousands of parcels, and they whittled it down to a list of hundreds of parcels, and they're individually looking at them. Some of them weren't vacant at all. I mean, like, for example,
this is for housing.
for housing to house the homeless. This is one of the mayor's mandates. And so specifically, by way of example, they suddenly had identified the former 11th Avenue Animal Shelter, not realizing it's in operation as an animal shelter, thinking it was a vacant abandoned building. So
Oh,
they
really?
spun some wheels until discovering that, no, actually, it's active. Yeah, I mean, in other words.
Yeah. Well, I
But
just don't know.
they're really looking at all of these, so I think anything at the moment is gonna be really hard to acquire.
Well, I know that,
Parks.
no, but I know that school parks is a big thing. I've been
Yes.
watching go through city council right now.
Right.
School parks.
Right.
There's a school, there's an empty lot adjacent to it, it's a park. I mean, I
Right.
can foresee that,
Right.
even though I know it's a commercial
Right,
corridor.
because I think the effort with school parks is to take their playground setting
And
and
turn it into a park.
declare it a park that's open open for other functions. Which is a flip of the prior policy that LAUSD could build schools regardless of what the zone is, by declaring them open space and recreation. Only they did the declarations but didn't actually make them open. to people to use in other times, so it's.
I think that spot up there, that you're describing behind the fencing,
So this must be a
Is very
technology, school?
right next to it, I
Oh,
think.
you're talking about the one across the street from where the 10th dead ends? That's gonna be our apartment complex.
Well, that's what I'm saying, the one that's under construction across from Johnny's is a deep hole in the ground because they've been doing construction. It's
No,
gonna
no,
be an
not Johnny
apartment.
Pastrami's.
No,
Oh.
Johnny Green's,
Oh,
at
Oh,
North,
his
10th
restaurant.
and North, I mean,
Yeah.
Is that the
They
same
keep-
location?
They keep
That's-
us. It's part of it.
that's under construction, that's
Oh,
deeply
okay.
under construction.
okay, so I haven't seen anything.
Because it's,
Yeah.
you have to get close and look down, it's a big, I mean, they've been on and off under construction. Many weekends,
I
the
can't
street is
bet you
closed.
anything is not 100% homeless or.
No,
low
that's
income.
a TOC.
Okay,
Oh,
has that come to?
It's next to a school.
Years ago.
Oh,
And
years
they're
ago.
slowly
Library.
moving on it to
It's
not
next to a
lose their
school, they're not
entitlements.
putting-
Right. That was before the pandemic. We looked at that.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
Okay, all right, so
In
I
this-
think
yeah, we
there are
looked
any
at it
lots.
in
Got
this
to do it,
room.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay.
The only empty space I know of is at the corner of Sixth Avenue and Adams that people were asking.
Oh,
yes.
They tried to store, equipment, trucks and such, and we fought that off. But people wanted to make it a pocket park or dog
Right.
park or something.
Well, they had also, a lot of people were discussing, the rodeo in Arlington, around there. Expo. Well, it's a big giant lot, but, neighbors were talking about a dog park, this, I mean, many things, because it is sufficient in size, but, you know, Metro had used it as
Yeah.
a construction storage vehicles. And they're definitely looking at that now for the housing.
Okay, well, what about this lot over here,
People own it, they've got entitlements to build,
that small lot?
to 25th and Gramercy.
No, the one on Adams and 7th, 6th?
Oh, that one that you
Yeah,
just
a little
mentioned,
small.
yeah, I don't know the story on that, the church owns it maybe?
Oh, yeah,
The church
Church
owns
owns
it.
it?
church owns it. They just never done anything with it.
And you think it's
And we fought it off.
one lot or?
Yeah, it's a house size. There was a house there originally.
Must have been,
Okay.
must have been.
Yeah, it's about, not big.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah, I
goodness.
mean, it's hard to think of. I mean, there's lots here and there in the community, but, I mean, there's like a lot somewhere in in the middle of Jefferson Park, but it's kind of a half lot. Somebody has a gym structure on, so I mean, in other words, somebody owns it, next door neighbor owns it, they don't use it.
I was thinking about 11th, the crazy guy who burnt down the house on 11th, and now some people want to turn it
Build
into 13 units, 13 bedrooms and
yeah, one of those,
co-dwelling. You know the house on 11th, is it 11th or
Lamont.
13th?
Lamont.
You're talking about 13.
13th, sorry.
Yeah, across
Yeah.
from Rena.
Yeah,
That would, I mean, I know it'd be weird to have a park in the middle of a residential area.
Better than
Or
that
one
man
residential
getting
neighborhood.
Yeah,
But he's got it already.
yeah.
They're still trying to build, motel.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, we're just gonna go ahead and adjourn.
Okay. Well, we definitely, learned some things.